How's it going, guys? Today we have had news of something that, I think everyone kind of expected would happen eventually, given recent things that happened with the specific service that you use to watch anime, and that is Funimation. Now we have two services. We have Crunchyroll, which originated as a pirating site but became legit, and then we have Funimation, which was always a pretty big uh, way to watch anime. It was one of the bigger ones, but it got bought out by Crunchyroll, or Sony bought Crunchyroll. I don't remember what the details was on that. I think it was one of which, because Funimation's owned by Sony, and basically they decided they're just going to put all their money into using Crunchyroll, and so Funimation wasn't really getting new stuff, from my knowledge. It was not like that big, that popular, or they never really promoted it anymore. So I'm not surprised that eventually it would all be shut down and taken away. It was gonna happen eventually. They kept it up for a bit, but they were gonna take it down. This is not a big surprise. Now, of course, I will say this: the entire the internet is upset about this because they're talking about how digital media is ruining everything for people when they want to own things. They can't own this anime. I will say that one thing. There are things I can argue about streaming services, but I mean, just to argue that you don't own something from a streaming service is kind of stupid, because that's not the point. You own a subscription to the streaming service where you can watch whatever is provided on there, but I think everyone knew that. Everyone's known that since day one. Since streaming services existed, everyone's known that. Right? So it's a little bit weird to me when I hear people say, "Oh, well, we don't own this." Is crazy. This isn't like video games where you have digital media in video games, and you buy a video game and then it gets taken away from you. This is not like that. This is a completely different situation when it comes to streaming services. But I will say my biggest rife with streaming services is that they're taking away a lot of episodes of specific shows, and you can't archive them from the streaming services. Like, for example, The Simpsons. There was an episode of Michael Jackson, and they took it down. Now, I don't know the full reasons why they took it down. I heard some reasons that are possibilities, but I'm not 100% sure if that's actually a true reason. As you know, Michael Jackson has some controversial stuff that is talked about by him, so that's why I'm guessing is why they took it down. Even the creator of the episodes, or like of those episodes, they basically said they regret doing anything with Michael Jackson because of like all the stuff he gets accused of and stuff like that. But regardless, those are where I have an issue when you start taking away episodes, because now I have like a season 3 thing of Simpsons with that episode, and that could be worth who knows how much now, because you can't even watch the that episode in particular. All right, I own a physical copy of that episode. All right, I'll show a picture of it right on the screen. Right on the screen, literally physical copy, the entire DVD case, all downstairs. I got all 17 seasons, well, plus 20. I don't have the other two. Apparently, they had those seasons, but I couldn't get them. Regardless, those are the issues I have with streaming services. Is that you don't exactly get to have things kept on there, and it ruins the archivability of this. But I'm not going to make the argument that I'm upset that I don't own this now. Like, you buy you pay for a streaming services. You would have to know that you're not owning any of this, because regardless, you still got to pay a monthly fee. If you owned it, you wouldn't need to pay a monthly fee because it would be yours. But paying a monthly fee just shows you don't own it, right? And then, of course, you got a lot of streaming services having issues where, you have to buy, or you have, like, animation gets the worst of it, but it's like, we're taking down a lot of animations or canceling animations. Netflix has the worst with this, where they're canceling literally every new animation, barely giving it a chance. The biggest one was Inside Job, where that lasted 2 seasons, and then they ended up canceling it for who knows what reason. I think it's due to the profitability. Now, a lot of animations, and maybe even just live action shows in general, but mostly animations, rely on merchandising. And I don't think streaming services are doing merchandising in all that great of a way. All right, I think Prime Video is probably the best one when it comes to what they're doing. I mean, we are getting, like, they're putting all their money into, like, Invincible and like yeah, that recent Has Been Hotel show. They're putting a lot of money into these things, and I think it's good what they're doing with animation when it comes to having their original shows on there, because they're actually going out of their way to try to promote this, but also try to make it continue without just brushing it off from like one season or two. Now, I know we're talking about other streaming services and we kind of geared away from the Funimation drama, but there isn't too much to really talk about when the whole grand scheme of things, because it was obvious that eventually Funimation was going to be taken down. But what is a big thing we got to talk about now is that now that Funimation's being taken down and Crunchyroll is going to be like the big main thing they use, they're bringing their yearly price up to $100 per year, which from what I know, the price was like $54 a year, or like a year, and now they're bringing it up even more, an insane amount, more than like Netflix ever brings their prices up for anything. That like the amount they're bringing it up to is just ridiculous, right? Because now that that's a year, how much does it cost to get it for a month? I imagine they have a monthly payment. I don't pay for Crunchyroll, all right? I don't watch too much anime. I used to, not anymore. But still, what are we getting from it? Not to mention, we don't get the best original Crunchyroll shows. I mean, like, High Guardian Spice is like the abomination of anime. It's not even an anime. It's just an abomination in general. Not even animation, honestly. I wouldn't even consider it that. But regardless, you don't even get good original shows from this. You just get shows that they're getting from, which, once again, they started as a pirating site. So, you know, you either die quick enough to be a hero or live long enough to see you become the villain. Like, and it is really annoying that so many services are just getting worse and worse. It used to be that the streaming services were just an alternative for cable. Now it's not. They're not an alternative for cable at all. They are literally just like, they are cable now, because you have to buy a bunch of them, and then you're paying more than what you have to pay for cable, if I'm going to be honest. And if we're not paying for that, we definitely will at some point. I only have, like, I think, I have Paramount Plus, I have Disney Plus, I have Netflix, and I have Prime. And that's basically all I got. I don't remember having anything else. I think my mom has like Apple TV or something, but we don't use it because there's not really anything good to watch on Apple TV. It's kind of just eh. But pretty much that's the entire situation, and it's getting sad how worse streaming services are becoming from just the price they're extending. Even Prime has ads, and you have to pay to get the ads off, which is stupid, because if you have like the initial like high Prime subscription, now you just have to pay an even higher one to get ads off. It's just stupid. But regardless, that's basically the situation with this with Crunchyroll and Funimation. Funimation's being taken down. Crunchyroll's going to be the new mainstay, and people are going to eat it up and buy it regardless of how you see it, because that's just how the world works. That's how capitalism works, and that's just the sad reality. Bye.